Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Woke Wednesday. Last Wednesday we were all very sick, and just wasn't fair to be doing anything. And unfortunately, that whole week we did just wasn't getting better. But we are actually getting better now, and back in the routine of getting you guys the woke news. I mean, who knows how long I'll be able to do this for? With what Trump's doing, he might be taking it all out of the area, and we might not have any content.
Oh my god.
But then I'll just turn to something else. But for now, I'll give you whatever woke news I have.
We need to do something about the cute winter boots at some point.
Yes, that was one of the ones I wanted to do because we just saw it. You know, the cute winter boots TikToks.
You see, it's like, oh, just try it. You have no idea, like,
Yeah.
are so stupid.
It got me. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna recap some of our favorite people and go over some stuff today. So we'll see what we do Friday. I'm not sure yet.
Ease back into it.
Yep.
Being sick, Talk like something.
All right. Now I've got to say present, right? I got to add the other one on. Okay.
I have your playlist.
Share screen.
Make sure it's picture in picture.
Okay. Screen layout. Picture in picture layout. This one, right? See, it's this one.
Is it that?
Huh?
Over. Yep, that's it. And then of course, once you get going on the other side, make sure it's screen.
Okay. Voila. Got that done. Yeah, I know. I was looking at everything. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna start with Simp Saver Sam. I think is our. Wait. No. Woke folks. Yeah, woke folks first. Simp Saver Sam, I believe, is the next one. Let's get into it and let's see what kind of nonsense is going on here.
Welcome back to Woke Folks, where logic often takes a holiday and the debates are as spicy as ever. Let's unpack today's buffet of bizarre and baffling moments.
And he has a right to express his opinion. However, that right is not unlimited, and he is under some special limitations that wouldn't apply to normal people because his companies, specifically Starlink and SpaceX, are government contractors. And as such, he has obligations to the government that would, for any normal person and should for him, require him to moderate his speech in the interest of national security. So what you have is somebody who runs really strategic defense and aerospace projects for the federal government who's actively undermining the government, which is paying him. And somewhere in there is a legal case that needs to be prosecuted.
An MSNBC commentator has big dreams of Elon Musk becoming a government puppet because who needs independence when you can have state-run billionaires?
The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. You'll notice they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. People like Kamala Harris. But as Kamala said, Kamala Harris. Kamala and I. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was a very good prosecutor.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I know her. Kamala was first Biden and Kamala. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And to the Kamala point, they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. They say Kamala. They do it all the time. It is on purpose. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was talking about this.
Kamala Harris. Kamala.
Mispronouncing Kamala Harris's name is a no-no, tagged as rape. by a Wokey, but watch them twist their logic into pretzels, trying to justify their own missteps.
I still want to get coward. Why do you need a to protect you? Oh, shit. You don't hear me?
Remember, when you get his age, you'll need a hearing aid too.
Supremacists! I will be a nasty man at his age.
How do you know who's a white supremacist and who isn't?
All white people are pretty much the bad guy.
Really?
Let me just start from there. You'll have to earn my trust if you're white because all of you guys have some fucked up.
Someone told me actually that because I'm white, I have the bloodline of murderers and rapists in my bloodline. No, someone who agrees with you told me that I have the bloodline of murderers and rapists in my blood.
It's true, colonizers.
There's no way.
So you think I'm a rapist? You think I'm a rapist because I'm white?
Probably. I think you probably have, and you haven't even recognized.
You don't see the irony of this. You think I've raped people without knowing it?
People do that all the time. You don't even know that. You probably have.
That is such circular logic. Okay,
No,
but
it's a patriarchy, motherfucker.
okay, delineate in detail how there's a patriarchy. I know what it means. Okay, I know what it means. I know what it means.
Don't assume his gender.
I know what patriarchy means, but can you explain to me how we live in a patriarchy with evidence, please? That's speciesism and sexism. That's a sexist microaggression. That's a sexist microaggression.
Not allowed to make up isms now. Master of slaves.
I identify as a troll. That's kin. I jerk off to not you. So, anyone else have any justification for the guy who told me that because I'm white?
Antifa claims all whites are rapists and rapists, but a brave soul steps up to confront this sweeping generalization with cold, hard logic.
Like, really what we're talking about is the female experience, which you can't speak to.
Yeah, but I can speak to the male experience. The male experience, I would think, would be able to speak much more highly as to how many men would actually be determined to do some harm to you if you were in the middle of a forest and they came across you in the forest.
You're right, but this is a podcast of women, and we're talking about women, so that's why.
Well, it's a podcast of women, but there's clearly men on the panel. It's not our job to kiss your ass because you're a woman. I'm having an adult conversation with you. I don't know why I need to look at everything from feminist standpoint theory or from your perspective when you so easily dismiss mine. I'm telling you that your number is absurd. It makes no sense. And as you retract it, you very quickly retracted it because you realized how absurd it was. Why would you say that I have to be a woman in order to speak to
A man dismantles a wokey feminist argument so smoothly, you'd think it was scripted.
I'm not sure. I don't live in their society. I don't know if their society is geared in such a way that if you're not Chinese, that you have less advantages in the society.
Well,
I don't live there. I can only speak to the society I live in, and I can say white people do have advantages in this society. In China, I don't live there, but sure, if it's set up so that the people who are like Chinese they get way more advantages than people who happen to be black but live in China, then sure, there should be one there too. But I don't live there, so I'd rather speak about what I'm educated about, and I am educated about where I live.
That's fair. I think to get at the heart of Brian's question, I'll ask a different one in the same vein. So Japan has a staunch immigration policy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want people who are not Japanese to immigrate into Japan. They want to keep it majority Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a wrongful policy from your perspective?
I mean, the policy in itself, yes. However, I would need to understand why that. I don't know why that policy
Because they want to
exists.
keep it Japanese. That's the motivation.
If it's just simply because they want pure Japanese blood, then 100% that's wrong.
So then you would apply the same logic to Israel.
I mean,
we're not.
I'm just asking.
I mean, I know we weren't allowed to talk.
We're not going to dive into it. I'm just asking if you would apply the same logic there.
I would apply the same logic that if there's any place where you have to look a certain way to have an advantage, and that is the only reason you get that advantage, and that you naturally will be disadvantaged simply because of the way you're born, whether that's your gender, whether that's your color, whether it's anything, that is not right. And I believe everyone should have an equal opportunity to be successful in any given society.
So one question for you then. So you would then be in favor of Europeans, white Americans, moving to Japan, attempting to gain positions of political power in Japan. Would you be in favor of that?
If they were someone of European descent.
A wokey feminist wants to end white advantages, but draws a blank on global inequalities. Selective outrage, much?
Or there's the flesh, there's the stuff, but then there's the form, which tells you about what that thing is. And so my liver might look a lot like your liver, but they're different livers. One's mine, for instance, and one is yours. So you don't have a right to mine, and I don't have a right to yours, because your liver is for you and my liver is for me. And we all know this, and we all act that way. That's why you're not coming up here and attacking me and ripping my kidneys out and selling it on a market in Wuhan or something like that. But we pretend that we don't believe these things because it helps to advance an argument which is totally indefensible and unnatural, namely that we ought to kill a baby or something like that.
So your organs are for you and you alone. You get to decide what to do with them. But a woman doesn't get that choice about her womb, about her ovaries.
Well, the baby
about
is
her
not
uterus.
an organ of
No,
hers. A
so
baby is an
you get to
individual
make
human
choices
being.
about your internal organs, but a living, breathing woman does not.
Well,
okay, I understand.
No,
that.
I don't think you do understand, because I don't think you understand very well at all, unfortunately, because you're suggesting that the baby is an organ of the woman, which is preposterous, obviously. You know, the baby is differentiated from organs by its DNA, by how it will develop, by, I don't think she's listening to the rest of my answer. You know what that was like? That girl knows something so smart, which is, when I was a young man, a single guy, right? The best way that you could really, if you liked a girl and, you know, the girl was seeing some other guy, the best way you could needle the guy is by getting the guy's name right. You say, hey, you know, how's Mark doing these days? Oh, actually, his name is Mag.
Michael Knowles delivers such a compelling pro-life argument that a pro-abortion wokey literally walks out, exit stage left.
One of the great things that is essential to Britishness is a sense of public duty, that you do things for nothing with organizations that can't pay. Ms. Penny, who has been advertising these great left-wing virtues, and I were due to debate for a very impoverished little society called the Thomas Paine Society on the virtues of a republic on the one hand and a monarchy on the other. I was prepared to do it for free. She insisted on trying to charge such a large fee that the event had to be cancelled. Now, I think that is as mean and grasping as some runt comedian, and I will not be lectured to by a jumped-up public school girl like you. I came from the bottom, and I will not have it.
Excuse me, may I respond to that? I think I deserve a right of reply to that. I personally feel that asking to be paid...
Did you or did you not do what I've just said?
I was going to respond to that, but...
Why not do it straight away? Did you or did you not claim such a large fee that the event had to be cancelled?
No, I didn't, Mr.
Well,
Sergeant.
then every member of the committee is lying, and you clearly, as usual, are telling the truth.
No, this is not what was said to me. I
have emails. That wonderful, wonderful method of tracking.
No, I don't think I'm going to respond to it. One of the reasons the event was cancelled partly.
A man pulls back the curtain on an SJW wokey, exposing the reality behind her social justice facade.
Society need men.
Yes and no.
No.
So why yes and why no for you? And then I'll ask you why you said no.
Well, because in today's society, sometimes you don't need the male to have a baby anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I would say yes and no.
It's not like a moral thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm like we can exist without men only because new research has been discovered of making egg into sperm, so we can reproduce without men. So it's not like a moral thing. It's more of like a like if men just died right now, could we survive? Yes, because of the new research that they're doing. They like it's possible for like lesbians to have like a baby
without a male sperm.
Right.
Yeah, because they turned it into
you know.
Wokey feminists believe in a future without men, touting a feminist science of reproduction. Science fiction meets social justice.
In what sense is our society male dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labor.
A huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. Where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that.
Jordan Peterson calmly debunks a wokey feminist's claims about male-dominated societies with facts and polite Canadian charm.
Can't use neopronouns to refer to me, and you need a word that you already know how it fits into the English language. You may refer to me as it, its. They, them makes me super dysphoric. It, its is cool. Non-noun neopronouns are still my preferred, especially the ones that keep the E sound, like E or Z or V. But if you need a pronoun like while you're learning those, or if for some reason neopronouns are inaccessible to you, then it, its. Of course, if you're not using my pronouns just because you don't want to or you think they're invalid.
Nuts. Communicating with wokies? You might need a dictionary for their pronouns, or maybe just a telepathic connection.
K to 3, you got the basics, bigender, cisgender, demigender, what the androgender, fluid, orgogender, intersex, jerks. What is that one? What is, I can't even pronounce that. Off gender, pangender, gender questioning, gender assignment, subgender, yes, trans. Well, I don't even know what that one is. It is just Chinese gender. What the fuck?
An elementary school in Canada introduces the Wokey ABCs, because why learn the alphabet when you can learn activism?
You are supporting Nazis. Do you
like
understand that?
communism?
Yeah, I fucking am.
They killed way more people. Don't pour your coffee on me.
I will.
Than the
Fuck off with
Nazis?
you.
What
But
is
do you
wrong with you?
understand that fascism is here?
What is
I don't want to mute Mike. I want Mike good. Okay.
Right, so I was just slowing down some of these and reading them from that book that
Yeah, we
Shields
just-
written's book.
Yeah.
right? And I can't read this one. It's like kind of gender, right?
Yeah.
Someone who is unable to pinpoint their gender due to the stress of the questioning process. So,
Wow.
So they're so stressed out they don't know if they're a guy or a girl.
Yeah, that's not right.
Rewind a little. There was one before this. I'm like, what the? That's too far. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all good.
The person before for that. So yeah, this is childhood.
Yeah.
Or K to 3, agender.
It says it in Canada.
Bigender, cisgender, demigender. Shit. There's one called endogender,
Demigender.
gender fluid, orogender. Okay. Someone whose gender identity changes over time.
Yeah, see, that's just, oh yeah, it's just, you all confused.
Intersex, of course. Okay, Juzera or X, or I'm assuming it's Juzera, someone whose gender identity feels feminine but not entirely female.
Wow. Yes.
And then back to the kind of gender, liberal gender, someone who is typically agender but has a strong connection to a different. Insane.
It is. I mean, I can't believe this.
Some of these words that are in this child's book, it's
Yeah.
a book for kindergartners to third graders, and it's talking about all these different types of genders. And one of them was like, someone who has a hard time pinpointing their identity due to the stress of the questioning process. So like, oh, I'm so stressed out. You're stressing me out so bad. I don't know if I'm a guy or a girl.
It is.
Y'all understand that Nazis are
What
fucking
is wrong
here?
with you, woman?
A Nazi was
What
just
is wrong
elected in
with you?
Brazil.
You're pouring coffee on strangers. You have to ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with you?
Nazis are shooting my
You're
people.
throwing milk at people.
Nazis are shooting my people.
All right,
I don't give a damn.
Nazis are socialists, by the way.
Nazis are not fucking socialists, you dumbass. Pick up history class and piece of shit.
National Socialism. National Socialist is actually the name of the...
The National Socialists. Oh my god, as if I don't know this is a fucking
When she
history
starts mocking you, that's when there's no argument left.
My god. Why do y'all always focus on the socialist part of that instead of the nationalist part of that? Why don't you realize that there are KPD, Communist Party, Socialist Party in the German parliament at the same time? Goddamn idiots.
A socialist wokey loses their cool and throws coffee in a heated debate. Talk about a caffeine crash.
Coming here, going away from the country where it's in war. What are you talking about? They're trying to escape for their lives.
So how does it fit into this equation?
We were talking first about Mexicans, and then you start talking about Canada. I don't get it.
Right, and I mentioned the refugees and asked how many you were willing to house.
I'm not interested to talk to someone who thinks that...
A wokey SJW has a mental hiccup live, trying to articulate a point, but ending up utterly confused. It's like watching a human version of a buffering video. Drag Queen Story Hour goes too far, with money thrown at a child while adults cheer. A site that screams for a reality check.
Think you work harder than Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Probably like 90% of the population works harder than Elon Musk.
What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
What do I do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
I go to class, try to keep my grades up so that I don't have to lose my scholarship, so that I can continue to go to school, so that I can gain an education and don't fall into the same generational cycle that my family is, that has never been to college, has to live in a poor town. I'm just trying to do better for myself, and the stakes are higher for me as a poor person because of these scholarships that I have to keep my grades up for. So it's very stressful on a day-to-day basis. And Elon Musk or someone like that with that background who has billions of dollars never has to worry about
But you know, Elon Musk's parents weren't rich.
Yeah, they were. They own an emerald mine.
No, he started PayPal and sold it. So I just want to confirm before we go, because you guys are very great. You're convinced 100% that you work harder than Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Wokies claim they work harder than Elon Musk. Next, they'll say they moonlight as rocket scientists.
Women's rights. But we can't define what a woman is. But also men can be women. And no uterus, no opinion. But also men can get pregnant. Men are oppressing us. But also, it's okay if biological men take over our spaces and our sports. Women are so over-sexualized in this culture. But it's empowering if women are the ones sexualizing themselves. Are you guys quite done yet? Like, are you okay?
A woman trolls a wokey feminist so perfectly, it's almost a public service.
Do you believe you could pick your pronouns?
Yes.
Do you believe you could pick your adjectives?
Yes. You can choose different adjectives.
So I could be
different
I could be
use.
small, I could be strong, I could be rich, I could be smart just by my own imagination?
It's a matter of social utility.
Okay, so what do you think determines reality?
You can empirically measure someone's chromosomes, but you can't empirically measure how much of a man or a woman someone is. So what makes something more manly versus more feminine? There's
testosterone, estrogen, muscle mass, size,
That's related to
proclivity towards emotional distress.
But you can change those.
I'm sorry? You can
change levels of testosterone and estrogen or androgen levels.
Well, you could suppress artificially and put things in. You could also remove critical body parts. There's a lot of things you could do that are not right. Thank you. No, next question. Thank you.
You like Joe Biden?
Thank you.
Joe Biden is not.
Thanks for being here.
Charlie Kirk brings out the big logical guns against a pro-LGBTQ wokey, leaving no room for rebuttal.
Who do you prefer, Trump or Kamala?
Kamala Harris.
And why do you say that?
I like her because she stands up against, like, Trump's kind of like a bully in politics. She's not afraid to, like, stand up against him. And first female president, first black female president would be amazing. You know, gotta support our women. And she supports women, like, supports, like, abortion rights and everything and rights, and I think it's really important.
What's the worst thing about Trump that you don't like?
Yeah, sexist, Islamophobic, xenophobic, homophobic. He doesn't support rights, abortion rights. He's women. Not a great person.
And for the Trump supporters out there who would say, "Where's your proof?" Would you have any?
I mean, off the top of my head, it's just like he's done a lot of bad stuff. Like, it's in the media. If you look it up, it's up. And off the top of my head, I can't give you anything, but I wrote a paper about it for one of my classes. So if you like to read my paper. Yeah, I just think that the bad things that Trump has done, like, far outweighs the bad things that Kamala's done. And she's done so much good for the country.
Question, what's your favorite policy of Kamala Harris?
Abortion rights, or like her stance on like marriage and everything, like equal marriage opportunities. I think the same, because like abortion rights are very important, especially like people who like are risking their lives for their pregnancies and they're not allowed to get abortions because of dumb laws. So I think that's really important.
You guys know about the border crisis right now?
A little bit, yeah.
So in comparison to reproductive rights and border issues, which one do you think holds more weight?
It comes to like the border crisis, I think it should be easier to immigrate here because there's really no, I don't think like there's a big reason to be keeping everybody out. Like,
what about the like those cartel members, sex offenders, you know, stuff like what happened up in Georgia, just bad people? Do you think that's not a good enough reason?
I mean, like, that is a reason. You could do like, I mean, I'm sure immigration requires some sort of background check, but I mean, there's bad people in it who are American too. There's plenty of American pedophiles, gang members, cartel members.
Do you think that Kamala has been successful the past 3.5 years in office?
I don't know too much about what she's done during her vice presidency, but I know what she can do, and I know that she's a strong leader, and that when she does get in office, she has tons of big plans, like even like gun laws, like that's super important too. So I feel like once she becomes president, we'll see a lot of good things from her. Go vote for Kamala Harris.
A Kamala Harris supporter thinks her only policies are about abortion and rights. They might not be wrong. Want to catch wokey moments in 4K? Watch till the end. Subscribe, like the video, and comment wokies for a chance to win a brand new iPhone 16 or a cash prize. Also, don't forget to check out the next video on the end screen for more chances to win.
What about women that always say, like, women don't get paid as much as men?
It drives me insane.
Is that a fact?
But that's true, no? It is not true when they do the same jobs as men. I'm sorry you want to work at Vogue and pick out pretty bags for a photo shoot, but you don't get paid as much as an engineer. Men and women have different interests. We are biologically different. When I was in school, every single girl that I was friends with was majoring in either comms or TMD fashion, right? The truth is that if you go into a career and you want to be a buyer for Macy's, and men are, you know, taking business classes and want to go be CEOs of hedge funds, they're going to make more money. We have different interests. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Like, men and women are not the same. We are biologically different. We have biological predispositions. The idea that women should want to climb the top of a ladder and, you know, go into corporate America and be there forever. Women want to have kids, right? So there's another reason that they're not making as much money as men, is because a lot of women want to stay home with their children, which is an admirable goal, which feminism tries to wipe away. Like, oh, if you want to stay at home, something that women say to me all the time, why don't you make your husband a sandwich? Okay, Is he hungry? Does he want a sandwich? Like, did he say something? I make my husband food the last 4 nights. I made my husband dinner. Like, I don't understand this weird maker. Like, they're trying to shame women for taking care of their families. Like, that is another element of feminism that I cannot stand. It's an attack on family and these things that work.
Candace Owens dispels the myth of the gender.
I've needed it. You know, I mean, it is what it is, but it's like that is like inherently our parts.
Unmuted.
I gotta look something up. Okay, so I saw a video the other day. It said, if I were the devil, how could I make women hate motherhood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it said, I asked ChatGPT if I were the devil, how would I make women despise motherhood? And this is what it said. It's going to. Alright, if your goal were to make women despise motherhood, you'd likely need to distort perceptions of it, turning what was once seen as a fulfilling, natural, and even sacred role into something burdensome, limiting, or undesirable. Here's how that might play out. Number 1, promote the idea that motherhood is a trap. Convince women that having children will ruin their dreams, limit their potential, chain into a life of servitude, frame it as a loss of identity rather than a transformation. Number 2, glorify career over family. Elevate professional success as the only true path to fulfillment while portraying motherhood as menial and unimportant. Make women believe that their worth is measured only by their productivity in the workforce, not by the love and guidance they give to their children. Number 3, make children seem like a burden. Emphasize the hardships of motherhood, sleepless nights, financial strain, loss of freedom, while downplaying the joys, rewards, and purpose that come with raising a family. Number 4, encourage self-centeredness. Promote a culture of hyper-individualism where personal pleasure, convenience, and self-fulfillment take priority over sacrifice, duty, and love. Number 5, redefine feminism. Shift the feminist movement from advocating for equal rights to rejecting traditional femininity and motherhood. Convince women that true empowerment means rejecting their natural ability to nurture life. Number 6, normalize childlessness. Push the idea that having children is just one of the many equally valid lifestyle choices, and then go further. Frame it as an outdated, unnecessary, or even irresponsible choice in light of environmental and economic concerns. Number 7, destigmatize abortion while promoting contraception as the default. Make abortion seem like an easy, normal solution to an unwanted pregnancy and encourage widespread contraception use in ways that separate sex from its natural consequences. Number 8, undermine family structure. Promote unstable relationships, divorce, and casual sex while discouraging marriage and commitment. If families break down, women are less likely to see motherhood as part of a meaningful, stable life. A couple more. Number 9, mock traditional motherhood. Portray stay-at-home moms as weak, unambitious, or oppressed. Fill the media with images of unhappy mothers and cool, child-free women who are living their best lives. 10, exploit the power of media and entertainment. Use movies, TV shows, and social media to glorify independence, partying, and career-driven lifestyles, while making motherhood seem outdated or exhausting.
Exactly.
By reshaping cultural narratives, shifting priorities, and exploiting natural fears and insecurities, you could fundamentally alter how women view one of the most natural and fulfilling aspects of human existence. Is that not?
That is.
Everything
I mean, it's
that's
crazy.
going on right now.
I mean, it's down to a T on.
It's not just like nuts.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you heard it there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they're doing it.
It's literally driven by the devil, whatever that may be to you. It's
Yeah.
an evil thing,
It's crazy. Alright, get back on with this one.
gender pay gap with her trademark directness.
Do you have gay
In my
friends?
heart.
You have Jewish
I
friends?
have-
Do you have gay friends?
I'm trying to be funny.
Do you have friends? I want to know.
Yes, I actually don't have, like, I really kind of feel like I only hang out with my family right now, so I'm a little, I've got 3 kids under 3, so I don't really have friends right now, but yeah, sure.
No, seriously, you don't have friends?
Well, I have gay my family, so yeah, that's the extent of my gay people.
Are you homophobic? No, seriously, I want to know.
You're such an
I thought
absurd
you would
human
say,
being.
of course I have gay
You're
friends.
just such an absurd human being. First off, the person that you're just an absurd human being. Are you homophobic? Oh, I was just like, what does homophobia actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobia? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? Like I'm like, oh my god, look, there's a gay. I'm so scared. It's
No, not at all.
To have
I just
a phobia
asked you a very
is like to
simple
have
question.
a phobia, is a fear of, like, you know. You think I fear like 2 gay men that are walking down the street holding hands, like, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so scared. I don't fear anything but God.
When Don Lemon calls Candace Owens transphobic, she turns the tables with undeniable grace and a dose of reality.
You won't be surprised to learn it truly was like female Jesus showed up. Female Jesus walked onto the set. And keep in mind, this is ABC, which already treated her like female Jesus at that ABC News debate. And I use the term ABC News loosely. Watch the walkout. It looked more like Elvis showing up at a concert than this did like an organization that is supposed to be a news organization hosting a presidential candidate.
Welcome back. The next president of the United States.
Wow. It's worse than Oprah. For the listening audience, that was Whoopi Goldberg, who balled her little hands into fists. Oh, the next president. Oh. Could you just try to grow up a little, like try to act like an adult person, like a professional? It would be great.
Megyn Kelly hilariously narrates the cringeworthy welcome Kamala Harris receives on ABC, making it sound like a parody.
They do account for how much they pay in taxes, which I think is important to look at, because then that's a follow-up question, right? That's an important question.
What college
how much
did you
is
study
the
statistics in?
me?
What college did you study
Oh,
statistics
I didn't go to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were self-educated?
Well, I mean, I can examine a report. I don't think I need
Where'd
4
you
years
go?
of college to do that.
You went to Cal Poly? Which
Yeah, you
one?
went to Cal Poly.
Pomona or San Luis Obispo? Pomona? And you were a statistics major or poli-sci? Physics. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so how did that translate into...
We can examine a report. We don't need 4 years of college education to examine a report, do we?
I don't know. I don't know where your education comes from.
Do you think Americans could use that money over illegal immigrants?
Yeah, it's just like when you're doing a budget. No, I think there should be a budget for everything. That should be part of the budget.
Perhaps to get more specific, I should just show you guys
a report that you found on
the
Google?
breakdown.
So
Well, I mean, you don't have to believe it. You know,
it's not a matter of believing it. I'm just saying, like,
there's contrasting reports as well that I've looked into.
I'm
This
not
one seems to be
looking
the
at-
best.
I'm
You know,
not looking into this. I'm. What is your background? That
I'm a YouTuber.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm a social media person.
Do you have to have credentials? You think to talk about this conversation? Would that be more comfortable? Would that be better?
I mean, I could talk to you about ballerinas and everything, but I have no experience. It doesn't mean that I'm an expert because I can talk about it and read about it. That's why I'm wondering, like, what your experience is and where you're coming from, because I too can read articles and I can also read reports.
Would you like to check this one out
No,
just so you can see the
absolutely.
breakdown?
I want to go get drunk and have fun with my friends.
Do you support free care for illegal immigrants that are coming into the United States?
For free care for everybody that's in the U.S. I know it's expensive.
Last question. When it comes to, obviously, over the last 3.5 years, the United States, we've brought in about, estimated, I would say, a minimum of about 10 million illegal immigrants under this administration.
Wokies ignore the massive spending on illegal immigrants, but are quick to question the credentials of those pointing it out.
So Bernie came out with a competing plan. I want to give you some of the deal points and kind of get a sense of what you think of his deal points.
Okay.
So if you're making $50,000 or less, most family of 4 will not pay any taxes at all.
Okay. I think that's a good plan, yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Double the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000. What do you think about that?
That's a good plan.
He's lowering corporate taxes from 35% to 21%.
Lowering corporate taxes.
Yes.
Okay.
You take out a mortgage for more than $750,000, you're going to end up paying more in taxes on that home.
I could definitely side with that.
The more money you make, the more of a percentage of your income you have to pay the taxes.
Yeah, I know that people who make a lot of money aren't going to like that, but like, that's just how it is. Yeah, exactly, right? 1%. Yeah.
He keeps the Obama era tax credits for clean energy.
Yeah. He keeps the Obama era tax credit.
So
Yeah.
the-
100,000 billion%.
What do you think of Bernie's tax plan?
It's fantastic.
Do you feel the burn? Do you find those things to be good, bad?
I find them to be good for the most part.
Seems like a good thing.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that that's a step in the right direction.
I love Bernie. I voted for him.
Yeah, sad.
I miss Bernie more now than ever.
Overall, give it an A+.
Yeah.
A plus?
It's all just rational with Bernie, and with Trump, it's not.
And what if I tell you these are all in Trump's tax plan?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, this is one of those things.
One of those things. What if I would tell you that that's all the Republican tax plan?
Is it?
What if it was?
Is it?
It is.
I don't know. But why aren't they showcasing those aspects of it then?
They should be, right?
Yeah.
So what if I were to tell you that all of this was in the Republican tax plan?
Really? Well, that's really
Liberals mistake a Republican tax plan for Bernie Sanders because all tax plans look alike, right?
Today we're talking about the phrase Latinx. Have you ever heard of this?
I have. I'm very familiar.
What do you think about it?
Well, I'm a white person, so I know my opinion is less important than other people's.
I feel like it wouldn't hurt to have a gender neutral term for people who are gender nonconforming and Hispanic.
Yeah, I absolutely support any gender neutral pronouns that could be introduced into languages. I think it's super important to make people feel comfortable with their gender, and I think it's absolutely necessary, and I fully support it.
They deserve to have words that reflect who they are. So whatever I can do to help facilitate that, I'm happy to do.
Do you think that the Hispanic community would like to be called Latinx?
Based on my personal experience, I prefer to use it until told otherwise.
I think people who are in the Latina community, they would support that, yeah.
Gracias, Aldo. Yo me encuentro desde Olvera Street en Los Ángeles, California, un centro turístico cantidad de latinos. Así que vamos a ver qué piensan ellos. ¿Has escuchado alguna vez el término Latinx?
No. No. No, primera vez.
Primera vez que lo escuchas.
De verdad, sí.
Como latino, pero con una X al final.
No.
Nunca.
Nunca. Sí, pero como en chiste, como like a comedy.
Like a meme?
Sí, como meme.
Es como el término latino, pero intercambian la O por una X para tratar de ser más inclusivos.
Yo no le hallo ningún punto. Latinx, no, ni se escucha como una palabra.
¿No te gusta?
No.
Estas personas, básicamente, estos grupos sugieren que lo que pasa es que el término latino es machista porque, dicen ellos, no incluye a las mujeres. Si, por ejemplo, nosotros tres estamos aquí reunidos y dicen latinos, ¿tú te sientes incluida?
Sí, no hay ningún problema.
No hay ningún problema, ¿verdad?
También con lo que sepan que soy latino, latina, lo que sea, I'm okay.
Igual, yo no me ofendo.
No. Hispanos, latinos, latinas.
The term Latinx is pushed by wokies, but wait until you hear the real opinions from the Latino community. They're not buying it. For more epic takedowns and hilarious debates, click on the screen right now.
Whoa.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. It's like even all those things they change their tone when they find out, oh, it was from the other side that said that, or it's like the Latinos, well, no, I mean, I just rather do it until I know that they don't want it or that they don't, and then you tell them, well, no, they said they don't want it, and it's like, oh, no, I'd still rather do it. It makes me feel better.
Like those communities are more than capable of coming up with their own terminology if they so want.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's like we don't need a bunch of white woke people trying
Yep.
to. I mean, how is that not racist? It's like, oh, they're not smart enough to come up with this on their own, so we're gonna give them a name. I mean, what?
I mean, that's exactly it. Alright, we're on to Simp Saver Sam now. All the rest of these are a lot shorter, and that was the longest one we have. Was our first one.
No guilt, no guilty conscience kicking in by now? Jesus.
That ain't right. Shame on you.
He's a man! That's a man!
Oh no. People are pissed.
That's a man cheating man!
It's an evil world we live in.
So you're telling me these women have to work all year round, you know, for years to compete in races like this, and then some dude comes in who's obviously beat by every man in all the races, comes into this and smokes everyone. Anyone who's an athlete knows this is some BS. This is totally unfair. I was actually happy to hear those people speaking up in the crowd, because it needs to be said by someone, doesn't it? If people like this want to compete, they should compete against each other. Don't be infiltrating women's sports and taking opportunities from them. Because let's all be honest here, the woman who came second in this race, she came first.
Standing here now, a biological male wearing a dress with a pair of leggings, do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing?
I would encourage you to behave as a man, is what I would do, because you are a man, and I don't know how exactly you came to the point where you think you're a woman or very much would like to be a woman, but you aren't. And I don't think anyone who is affirming your delusion is helping. I think they're lying to you, and I think it's very disrespectful, and I think it will not lead to your flourishing. I think it will only immiserate you. You might hate me for telling you the truth, but I think the truth will set you free. Furthermore, your masquerading as a woman does infringe on the legitimate rights of other people, the rights of women to have their own bathrooms, the rights of women to have their own sports leagues. That is not something that you have a right to do, no matter how sincerely you believe the fantasy that you're a woman.
He got cooked. Asian, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
Well, to be fair, I've seen a lot of these, and normally it results in a lot of screaming and shouting and chairs and bottles being thrown. But this one was actually chilled and calm, and it was actually a conversation where they were listening to each other.
I'm Asian. I'm Asian. I'm so Asian. My pronouns
Oh no.
are he.
He got him with that one.
If Donald Trump, he just goes out there and he's a regular conservative president and we end up in a recession, fine. We've been there. But as far as the fascism and the likening him to Hitler and the threat to democracy, if he doesn't do all of that, why should we ever believe Democrats ever again, Chris?
What? Get off his man, Jesus.
No, y'all need to get off Democrats. Being on Democrats is what got y'all in this position. Y'all ride Democrats so much that y'all got delusional and lost track of reality and didn't even see motherfuckers like this kicking y'all ass. Y'all thought that this crazy nonsense he was spewing would never connect with people. You know why? Because y'all lost connection with people.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this guy voting for Harris? I don't really get involved. I'm not American, you know, in American politics, but doing what I do on YouTube, you see a lot of political videos from these influencers like this guy. And that was the interesting thing about the election. I was seeing a lot of people with big followings getting paid extortionate amounts of money to say they're voting for Harris.
This Venezuelan migrant recently went on a live stream to tell us about some of the cool benefits she's been receiving in New York City.
Oh, no.
No one will remove us from here, not even Trump will get us out. Then she says, you know, I've been suffering from, I've been having dental issues. So I had surgery recently. And they helped me with 4 teeth. But the appointments were far away, unfortunately. Then here she says, I'm in New York. I want to leave New York, but I don't have my papers yet. It's nice here, but working without papers, it's horrible.
Go home, get a job.
I'm desperate, to be honest. Then she keeps communicating with the comment section and she says, I'm fairly new. I've been here for only 6 months.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Only 6 months since I got here. And then
It's a long
someone
time.
asked her, wow, what about your nails? How much were they? She says it was $50 to get them done. But this was maintenance, and that was an additional $30. Oh, it's only a 6-month free hotel stay. No big deal.
Yeah.
An average hotel room for a migrant costs around $350 a night.
Wow.
That means that she's been getting roughly over $60,000 worth of hotel accommodation. When was the last time that any of you received a 6-month hotel freebie? I hope President Trump does the right thing.
Yeah, I don't know what this woman was doing by going live, telling everyone about this. All it's going to do is piss people off. There's people working, an honest living who won't even get anything close to that. And flexing it on social media, yeah, that's not the move.
Let me get this straight. You're protesting in America to be here illegally, and you're waving the flag that you're from, but you refuse to go back to the country that you're from. And not only that, you're taking the American flag, throwing it on the ground and stepping on it. Then why are you here?
Yeah, and I have a large American audience, so I do like making these videos for you guys especially. And a lot of you guys are from there. And I've seen videos of people getting their American flags torn down from their porch or their houses, or they get told to remove them at that. And yeah, he's completely right. There's a lot of people living there, rent-free, tax-free, who are complaining about the country, but they'll refuse to go back to wherever it is they originally came from.
I'm not going to leak anybody specifically, but let me tell you this. Some of the biggest musicians, they got paid to promote and endorse Kamala.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they wanted Trump. And I know for a fact, because I saw, check this out, I saw actual proof with my own eyes of a private text conversation between somebody and somebody saying that I did this for the bag. I swear to God on everything I love. I'm not lying about it.
Really funny.
I promise you.
Oh, man.
So it just
Damn.
goes to show you. It's like, and I'm giving you an example of like how easy it is for people, in the A-listers to easily sell out, man. It's like,
It is. Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah, this is what I was saying to another clip at the start of the video. There was a lot of these music artists, actors, actresses, whatever. We know they're getting paid the bag to say what they're saying, even though they don't believe it. They took the money and said a load of BS, even though they didn't believe it. I think we all saw that.
I can't wait until American women can't get blueberries for their smoothies.
Oh my God, I can't wait until women can't get their blueberries for their smoothies, and they can't get mangoes for their smoothies or avocados for their avocado toast, because that's all immigrants make for this country is blueberries. And I can't wait until they don't have their blueberries, because then they're gonna really miss the immigrants and they'll be like, oh my God, I wish I had immigrants. I could have my blueberry smoothie and my fucking avocado toast. Like, oh my God, I can't wait.
Sheriff, he's over here.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow. Right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Children do not see skin color, man.
Nope.
They love.
Mm-hmm.
They're good people. They love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
Wow. I love it. It's great.
He's completely right. Kids are spoon-fed a lot of the garbage we be seeing and hearing today. Kids don't give a shit what someone has or what they look like or whatever. If someone's nice, friendly, and you'd have good fun with as a kid, that's all you care about. Kids don't give a shit about that. And it's good to see, dads like him. There's a lot of parents like this man who encourage their kids to just be kids and not be letting all this shit that we see in schools, on the news, on social media get into these kids' minds.
Then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
While you are emphasizing that you go after national security threats, you have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid.
If you're in the country illegally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. We have millions of people standing in line, taking the test, doing their background investigation, paying the fees that want to come in the right way.
Yeah, he isn't wrong with that one. Let me know if you agree with him in the comments.
What we had heard from immigration advocates is that this is going to provide a chilling effect to parents in the school drop-off line or something of that matter.
It shouldn't be a chilling effect unless their jobs are a public safety threat. If they are a public safety threat, national security threat, they should be chilled. They should be afraid because we're looking for them.
Well, if their parent is here and they're an undocumented immigrant, I think was more of the argument that they were making.
They're not off the table either. I mean, they're in the country illegally, they got a problem. I mean, it's not okay. Look, it's not okay to enter this country illegally. It's a crime. That's the way it's supposed to be. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I'm in Switzerland illegally. National security threats and public safety threats have no safe haven in this country, and we'll go where we got to go.
Yeah, no lies detected. And this woman here, and a lot of these people on the news and all that, they believe the same as him. They're just being told what they can and can't say at the end of the day.
Margaret, I don't agree that all these or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals
but there are
have been properly
30,000
vetted.
people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary
Do you stand by
concern
it?
as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that
So
we
no.
know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people
it's
are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted. And many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he
Yeah.
wasn't. I
Yeah.
don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted. And because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But-
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country. And I think most Americans agree with me.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.
Yeah, I can't believe this is even a discussion. Like how people will think that people being in a country where they haven't been vetted and checked and done it the right way, which a lot of people do, and if they pass those checks and everything, great. But people who try and fast track that and are here to cause problems, that is a problem.
I don't know about any of you, but I want off this ride. I want off this ride. And anybody who doesn't see what the fuck's going on is I want off this ride.
Well, plane tickets are cheap. They are cheap. You can go wherever. Crying on social media ain't going to fix your problem.
I am just watching Selena Gomez cry for the illegal. You know, these celebrity hacks, they see things on TikTok or Instagram or social media, and they're so stupid and ill-informed that they sit there and cry because criminal aliens are being deported back to their country of origin.
You're against deportation. Why don't you do this? Why don't you invite them over to your house? Bring them around your family, your friends, and your children. You can cook them a nice warm meal, and you guys can all sit around the table and share trendy Aragua stories. Only catch is you can't know who they are or where they come from. That sounds like a stupid f***ing idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, that Selena Gomez video, we covered it yesterday, is just diabolical. It's crazy how she thought that that was going to be perceived as her being genuine and honest. You can't be having a breakdown and then quickly grab your phone and get the right angle. That's not how it works.
Y'all finna start discriminating us? Huh? Is y'all finna start discriminating us? So y'all telling me if I want a job here, I can't work here if y'all don't like me?
What?
That's what y'all telling me? Don't say nothing, officer. Hello? Y'all finna start discriminating us, Target? This what we doing? Is this what we doing? Y'all quiet in this motherfucker. Where the workers at? I got kids. I need a job in this motherfucker, man. What's going on?
You need a job, mate. I don't think this is a good way to give out your application form, mate.
Y'all finna follow Trump and his rules? Don't say shit. Let's fucked up. We got kids out here. Y'all fucked up in here.
Stop it. Get some help.
This guy is acting like this and recording himself for clout. Why would anyone give him a job? Just based on this video alone, it's pretty clear that he can't control himself. He actually went out that day and thought, yeah, I'm gonna record this video, and I just can't understand what the objective is of this video. If he's looking for work, surely this is the worst thing you can do.
My name is Dr. Tracy Castro-Gill. My pronouns are they, them. I am a disabled queer Chicanekis educator and scholar in Washington State with my expertise on curriculum and instruction.
What the fuck does that even mean?
These are markers that were made illegal recently in the federal government. However, my very presence and humanity is in opposition to that legislation. I want to remind us that George Orwell, in his novel 1984, warned us about limiting how we are allowed to define ourselves and our experiences, and how that allows fascism to take root. Teachers have historically held the gap between humanity and fascism, often becoming the primary targets of fascist regimes, and we're seeing that play out currently.
Excuse me, can you keep your focus on the provisions of this bill?
Yes. And I also teach at the University of Washington and hear the curriculum violence and harm and how they're being erased in their K-12 programs, much the way that I and other gender expansive people were erased by Representative McIntyre in this very room today.
Excuse me, ma'am, we don't impugn members. Please proceed carefully.
What the fuck is going on, man? And it's delusional people like this that are in positions where they educate others. They don't even seem very educated themselves.
I think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as Black people.
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What does comparison mean? Statistics say that we are behind.
Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. You can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. America is the only place.
They proportionately.
Who is they? Are you saying white people? Brother, you in the same situation as all these white people, and you playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same university?
What does the same university have to do with anything?
You go to the same classes?
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody is
Do you just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3-point something and don't even study. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful.
GPA, whatever. He could have a 10 GPA, 1,000. If you live your life with a victim mentality and mindset, you ain't going to get anywhere. This guy is a donut. I hope he can change his thought process, because doing what he's doing now just ain't the way to do it. Everyone else there is in the same position as him. And he's completely right. If you work hard and pursue things, you'll achieve them. The only person holding himself back is him. No one else. There is a lot of people out there like him, well-educated people with the same opportunities, better opportunities than a lot of people that just don't utilize it or take it because they feel like the world is against them. And don't get me wrong, I felt like the world is against me at times, but that mentality doesn't get you anywhere, because I don't know anyone who's living like this guy and who's happy and successful. Happy is the main one, because they're all miserable.
Hi,
name is Dee. My pronouns are they, he. But how do you use
All right. You all heard that one. I mean, these people still think that they're like held back
Like
and
raw deal or something, who hasn't been there,
and it's like that guy that kid, he was walking the same ground as any other white guy that is going to that university.
It's like
He's
a lot of the ones that were talking about like male privilege, and they were on the same college campus and everything.
Yeah.
Like, well, can you give me an example? And you're like, well, I just know that they have. I just know that they do. And, so you can't give me a single example.
No.
How they're more privileged than you, and yet here you are.
Exactly.
On college campus having a conversation.
Yes. I know, it's ridiculous. All right, so we're moving on to Clown World. It's just a 10-minute one. I might have like one or two more after that. And they're about 10-minute ones also, so you should go fairly quickly compared to what we've been dealing with the last two.
use multiple pronouns when talking to somebody? Here's my first tip. When you meet somebody like myself who uses multiple pronouns, it can feel a little bit overwhelming and you might not be sure how to use them. My first tip is, for the love of God, do not use the multiple pronouns at the same time. i.e., do not say, oh, they here coming over tonight. Don't do that. That's not correct. Think about it as if somebody was using she, her pronouns. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, she, her is coming over tonight. You would say, she's coming over tonight. You would only use one of those pronouns in that pronoun set. So do the same if somebody uses multiple pronouns. But then you might be asking, but what pronoun do I use then? Do I just use the first one? Do I kind of pick and choose? Well, yes, to both of them. A lot of the time, people will put their most preferred pronoun or their favorite pronoun at the start of the pronoun set. And typically, you should use that one most. However, that's not the same for everybody. So, to make sure that you affirm everybody, it's best to use the pronouns interchangeably. So, in one sentence, use the first pronoun, and in another sentence, use the second pronoun. Or another option is that you use the different pronouns in the same sentence.
Yeah, I think the pronouns are really confusing. Yes, I don't even know what a pronoun is.
Or here's another option. Instead of being scolded like a little child or a puppy that just went to the bathroom on the carpet, I can tell people like that young lady we just heard from in the first clip that they can take their pronouns and... I hope I don't get canceled for saying that. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today. And as usual, we have very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this fellow with the green lipstick on is Lily. Now, Lily is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, when I first saw this picture, I thought to myself, Lily looks very familiar, and you know what? I was right. We've actually featured Lily here on the channel before, and for those of you that haven't seen it yet, check this out.
I'm a little trans girl, small and cute. These are my pigtails, yes, they're real. I get steamed up, I can tell. That tip me over part sounds kind of inappropriate, though. So I'm going to stop the song there and keep it kid-friendly. For all my young followers out there, stay proud, stay beautiful, and stay kind. Bye.
Okay, that's not creepy.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. Now, the Democrats recently held a forum where they voted on the chair and the vice chair of the DNC, or Democratic National Committee. And I actually showed a couple of clips from this in the last video, but it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. Now, the Democrat Party is an absolute circus, and I think it's glorious because they will continue to lose elections if they keep talking like this. and they won't be able to push their ridiculous and destructive policies on the American people. So we're going to keep it moving with this 2-minute clip of the candidates running for DNC vice chair asking the people in attendance for their vote. Roll it.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, papá. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair because in a time of crisis, leadership matters. My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of
And I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
work to do to organize, show up, and win.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
Now, we saw this little fella for a quick second in that clip we just watched. So let's hear his speech and see how many votes he got for the DNC vice chair position. Roll it.
My name is Troy Blackwell. I know that I'm a new face to many of you, but I'm a proud Afro-Latino from the South Bronx, New York. I got into this work because at the age of 18, unfortunately, I was the victim of a hate crime. Today, I stand before you as one of the first non-binary candidates to run in the DNC's 177-year history. I'm proud to be the only Afro-Latino in this race. I'm asking you to take a chance on someone like me, a proud non-binary Afro-Latino from the South Bronx.
A few moments later.
The final tally of votes, Troy Blackwell, 0.
All right, last clip here from the DNC forum, I promise. It is just such a clown show, but it's so entertaining. I literally thought this was parody the first time I saw it. So in this clip, this fella will be explaining the new rules because of that non-binary fella to make sure they are inclusive enough when electing a chair and vice chair to the DNC. Roll it.
The rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week, but I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot regardless of gender identity. as we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as one male and one female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have one officer of the three. So then we will know which position is filled of the one male, one female, and one vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the two results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
What does any of that mean? Honestly, we don't know.
Now, it is not just the Democrat Party who cannot seem to learn from their past mistakes and will not, for whatever reason, let go of this woke nonsense. Disney and Marvel Comics, who have put out a bunch of woke flops lately, just released this DEI version of Captain America, played by actor Anthony Mackie, who says that Captain America shouldn't represent, well, America.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
What the hell did you just say?
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
I'm an American. You're a sick asshole.
Hey guys, real quick, we don't have any sponsors for today's video, but I have to correct a mistake I made a few videos back, where I said the sponsor of that video was the YouTube channel True Crime Stories. It's actually the YouTube channel Patriots Live Here, but he switched from covering politics to True Crime Stories. So my bad. Patriots Live Here, thank you so much for sponsoring that video. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mention, John Beck, for leaving a super thanks on the last video. So, John, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, sir. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you.
You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
Now, in case some of you aren't quite for sure exactly what we just saw, that was two dudes. Anyway, next up we have a real teacher in a real classroom teaching real students. Roll it.
So, my name is Mix Crystal, like Chex Mix. Can you guys say hi, Mix Crystal? Hi, Mix Crystal. Does anybody know what mix means? There's Mr. and there's Miss. Anybody seen mix before? No. So, mix basically means I'm non-binary. That means I don't identify as a boy or a girl, which means when you talk about me, which you better not be snap, you're gonna say they. Exactly. A they, them. So, and I'm going to ask you guys, for example. So, I'm going to tell you one. So, if you're going to talk about, like, how like,
cool I am. You can be like, oh, Crystal is so cool. They have cool glasses and they have black hair and they have a cool little shirt and thrifted jeans. Who can give me an example? Yes. That's so sweet. Not they, Crystal. Mix Crystal, but I love that. I love that you said they, Crystal. I'll take it, honestly. And that's all. I just want to share with you. So when we are teaching and stuff like that, just call me Mix Crystal, or you can call me Crystal, or you can call me they, Crystal, if you want. I think that's pretty funny.
What did you say?
Mix basically means I'm non-binary. That means I don't identify as a boy or a girl.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
And next up, we have this young lady who is heading to the pharmacy to get all up to date on the Fauci sauce. I have a couple of questions. First of all, what's with the face paint? Second of all, why are you still taking the Fauci sauce? Roll it.
I have an appointment for my COVID vaccine.
And next up, we are going to see this young lady pull the biggest victim card we've ever seen here on the channel. And we've seen a lot of victim cards over the years. Roll it.
You know what's really fucking annoying and exhausting? Me just existing as I am is political. I'm a Jew. I'm neurodivergent. I'm disabled. I have DID. I'm trans. I'm officially a Satanist. I'm AFAB. I'm non-binary. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married. I'm kinky. I'm on the asexual aromantic spectrum. I'm polyamorous. I can't just exist without the entire world hating on me, telling me I shouldn't exist, having opinions on my life, telling me to change, telling me to be something that I'm not, and not accepting me for who I am.
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something. Nowadays, everybody's crazy.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is a blatant racist, by the way, putting his Trump derangement syndrome on full display at this press conference. Now, I personally think Brandon Johnson is the worst mayor in the entire country, and the people of Chicago are paying for it right now. I would say to them, stop voting for Democrats. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
But here's what I'm getting at. This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen. If anybody is questioning whether or not what our country would look like had the Confederacy won, there should be no question now. They want us to be afraid. Do not be afraid, Chicago. Whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, I'm always going to stand up for the interests of working people, and I will not be intimidated by some weak individual who won't stand up to an individual who believes he's a supreme being right now. You're worried about Chicago? Look in your front yard. We have a president right now who is obfuscating his responsibilities that should be very clear based upon the Constitution. He is rejecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this land. So whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, the people of Chicago would not be intimidated or threatened by any individual who is unwilling to look in their own front yard of where the real threat to our democracy lies. Thank you all very much.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this land.
And that's when I realized he was a fucking idiot. 2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on him. It's black. Anyway.
Liberals have a lot to say about how their country should be run. And we'll get
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, and I hope that you all enjoyed the woke madness just as much as we did, going over it and bringing it all to you.
It's like that teacher, the non-binary teacher or whatever. It's like he spends so much time trying to explain who they are, what they are, how to address them, and all this shit.
Yes.
They never get around to actually teaching.
No.
Fucking listen. It drives me
You
nuts.
don't.
It's like you shouldn't even be bothered with that.
No.
You know, if people want to wonder, let them wonder. You know, it's like it is what it is. Just teach the lesson.
Exactly. I mean, they get into everything else but what they should be.
Yeah.
It gets to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that this madness is coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be taken out of our schools and the kids will be left alone. That's the main thing I want. Yeah. So if you have any other videos you want us to go through, you saw the email address, email me and we'll see what we can do. So otherwise, I'll be seeing everybody on Friday and I'm sure we'll have something big planned, just not sure what yet. So yeah, that'd be it. Namaste, everybody. Have a great week.